Taking a look at a Samsung digital camcorder, and it's a 10 megapixel 1920 by 1080 HD camera. And the model number, honestly I have no idea. My friend wasn't looking, so I grabbed it and I'm doing a review of it. If you've watched any of our stuff, you know we like to make videos for the YouTube, and as much as possible we're trying to acquire some new cameras. Recently we've had some of our cameras, well, let's just say we're not real tender with our cameras, so they tend to fail at some point. And unfortunately we're at a situation where we need some new cameras, so I'm taking a look at some new ones, and this one's a Samsung. Well, we've been told by a couple of different people that Samsung makes good cameras. I think this one was a gift, so I'm not sure if it was something that was a deliberate purchase because of research or anything. First off, I'd have to say it's a nice size. You notice there's a bend in it. It's not broken. I suppose that is to facilitate the the ergonomics of typical grip. Some things I like about it off first impressions. It seems as though, because of the sort of symmetrical design and layout of the buttons here, that it would work for either left or right-handed people. And I say that because we have a few left-handed people on our team, and whenever they try to use this Exacti, which is a Sanyo product, you'll notice that it's definitely set up for use in your right hand. The screen is on the left. All the displays are here, or excuse me, all the buttons are here for your right hand. Now, if you try to hold it with your left hand, it's possible, but a little more awkward. So we've got the plastic around the lens here, which definitely means you're looking through plastic, unless that's a piece of glass in there. I really can't tell. It says f equals 7.9 millimeter, f 3.0, and then looking at the interface here, we've got a button that turns it on. We've got an indicator that says charge there. We've got this door, sort of pops out. It's on a flexible piece of rubber that's sort of incorporated into the door. A lot of people get scared off by that. It's not going to last forever, and it's sort of an interesting, concept to sort of be designed to fail almost. It's held into place by some very kind of delicate little feet here with some nubs. Considering it's both the DC in, which I'm assuming is to charge it, and then the memory card itself here. And right now there's an 8 gigabyte card in it. Well, this is a micro SD. Or is it just regular? No, it's just regular SD. And then, again, if you're going to be accessing this, though, quite a bit, I'd like to see a little more substantial door, I suspect. However, I think if this was mine, I'd probably just rip that door off, honestly. And then, now, I don't have giant fingernails, and that is kind of a bear to set that again without fingernails. Just an FYI. It's definitely recessed in there quite a bit. It's possible to get in and out, but a little tight. Up on the top here, this one for AV and USB, and it's again on a flexible little rubber band type of gizmo. Pivots out of the way and gives you access to USB and an AV cable. So we've got, looks like probably speaker microphones on top. Let's take a look at the interface if we can. I'm pushing the power button up at the top right here. Comes on with some noise. Of course, we're just viewing what we're viewing here. You got your start down here at the left. You got your battery indicator. Of course, it's almost out of battery. Oh, I'm touching the thing here, so I'm going to go ahead and just turn it back off. I don't know what I'm doing. There's not a lot of battery, and I need to pull the pictures off of this one, so I guess I won't do that right now. Well, so that's a quick review of the Samsung camera here. And I just don't see a way to even get the batteries out of this one So the batteries are definitely hardwired in there. There's no access panel that I can see, except for that DC in charging area. Basically SOL with this one. No way to do anything with it without that wire. I've been told that it will charge off a USB, so I guess we're going to find that out when we find a USB cable for it. It does look to use the standard cable, and we'll plug it into the computer and see what happens. Alright, because I stole this little camera, I didn't have a wire for it, so I had to find one. But it looks as though this standard USB wire from an old MP3 player is going to fit just fine. So it's the standard USB B side. And now I'm going to go ahead and plug the USB port into my little tiny laptop here. And we'll see what it says. So far nothing's happening at all. Let's take a look at the side here. And we do see that the charging light is on now. So that is a good sign. It's charging from the laptop. I guess I'll go ahead and turn on the camera. Alright, I'll try to turn on the camera. Okay, now I'm going to actually remember that the button is up here. And I'll turn on the camera, the actual power button. We've got our Samsung window. It says, PC software is operating. Select share button. You can upload file. Okay, not great English, but let's find that share button. And I see no share button. It's not the screen. I'll click OK. That didn't do it. I'll just push some different buttons. And I'm not having much luck getting it. Alright, I'll shut up. A window opened up over here. And then some software opened up. But I'm more interested in what it says. F drive. I see a miscellaneous folder. So of course I'm opening it up. Nothing in there. But a more interesting video folder exists. Inside of that I find a video or a folder called 100 video. And I found 6 MP4s. So I'm going to grab these with a cut, and I'll just slap these onto my computer real quick, and then we'll take a look at that software. And I'm sure the software is not going to be real happy that I just took all of its photos, but I needed them. And we're pasting there. And now we'll minimize all that, and let's take a look. File sharing is not marked on your mobile device. So let's get rid of this little wireless networking blob. That was a little alert about YouTube. It says, do you want to save new files in CamCorder to the PC? And I'm going to say no, because I'm taking them already. Open that up full screen, and we see that there are some videos here in that folder called 100 video. They're not all very long at all. They all look to be about a minute and so. The longest one is about 2 minutes. So we're letting it sort of transfer there in the background. I'll minimize this software. We've got 2 minutes remaining. And if we successfully pull the videos off, then I'm going to quit dealing with the software, because I'm not a fan of using software from a digital camera. Honestly, I just don't have time. I can pull the camera, the files right off like I'm doing now, and use those files in software that I'm comfortable with. I suppose I'm not giving this stuff the benefit of the doubt, but I only have so much room in my brain, and I'd rather spend that time on knives and backpacks and hunting and guns and stuff. So I'm not going to worry about how this software works, or how this software works, or how this software works. I'd rather just keep my editing software, my photo editing software that I'm familiar with, running, and then just, like I say, transfer the files over as files themselves. It's got 30 seconds left, so I figure I'll just leave the video run here for a moment. Maybe I'll pull the camera down a hair and see if we can't get a little better view. Hopefully you don't just get a reflection of me in the computer there. I'll give you a close-up here of what we're seeing here. And again, it says PC software is operating. Select share button. You can upload file. And we're down to about 5 seconds. So now it looks like it's completed. Let's go ahead and open up this folder and take a look at one of these videos and see if they did transfer over okay for us. These are some videos we took out at the shooting range the other day. And boy, that definitely doesn't look like high def. But it's big. It's a big file, that's for sure. I suspect these files might just be a little too big for this little computer, or it has something to do with the fact that it's still connected to the computer. But I think we demonstrated that it successfully pulled the video over, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that off of there. And then I'll close out of just the browser window there. Now I'm just curious if these are still showing up here, and they are. I'm pretty sure I did a cut and paste, so I'm going to see if I try highlighting one of these, if it'll find it. I'm assuming it's now going to look for it and give me an error about the file not existing. It didn't do anything. It might have given me an error somewhere that I'm not familiar with, but it looks like it just doesn't do anything. So again, it looks like we do have some software on this camera that we could use if we didn't already have our own, but we can also just pull them right off. It's also letting me charge the camera. Not the best news when I'm using the batteries on my little laptop, but I'll go plug in my laptop, and that means that my laptop will supply power to this little camera, and we'll get it charged back up before I give it back to the guy I stole it from. So far I'm not complaining. The operation of it is a little goofy with this sort of smooth buttons back here. It's really kind of difficult. I guess I'm going to go ahead and unplug it for now, since we got the videos off of it, and I'll just go through some of this stuff that, again, I haven't really even read the manual or anything. But I guess I'll hit record. We get a noise, which I'm sure we can turn off. You get a record indicator up here at the top. It's subtle but clear enough. This little display screen is very good. I'd have to say that out of all the different display screens I've seen, gives you a pretty good idea what you're looking at. Pretty fine writing and easy to see still. So I'm going to zoom it in here. Now I can do wide angle and telephoto with doing it off screen, sorry, with these sort of non-button things, and I still haven't figured out how to do it well. I'm just holding it down now. Sometimes I tap it. If you tap it, you see the screen shake, so I'm not really sure why they went with these types of buttons. When you hold it, it does a very jerky, not a smooth transition from the wide to telephoto. I just barely touched it that time and it pulled back out a little bit. I'm going to hit this button and see what it does. Didn't do anything. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. And now it's yelling at me in red down here about the low battery. Now it's telling me low battery up here. I guess that means it's time to charge that battery since it just shut itself off. Okay, got the battery or the thing plugged back in. I'm getting that charging light. It's orange now. I thought it was blue a moment ago. So maybe since it's just charging, I can turn it on. Use it as a camera. On. PC software is operating. Select share button and you can upload file. We got the screen again, which is handy. I like the idea that it gives us that screen right away. It's going to say, would you like to? I'm going to say no. I'm going to close out of this software. And I'll close out of this window. Now I've shut the software down from the computer side, but I don't think the camera's figured that out. So I'm going to push the camera button. And that didn't do anything. I'll push this play button. That didn't do anything. I'll hit OK. OK up and down, OK back and forth. Follow that little path around. I'll hit these other various buttons. Nothing seems to be working, so I suspect that it's locked out. It only wants to charge. So I'm going to have to go put these aside for a while. What we plan to do, though, is put this little new HD up against our other HD. We recently had one of these croak, and we'll see what these things can do with each other compared to each other. These are our only two HD cameras at the time. You can see how small they are. They're pretty handy. So we'll let this guy charge. It's back to blue again, whatever that means. And eventually we'll see a more in-depth review of some of our cameras.